Hey, Ann and Jason. I just met with Melissa and Christy, and we did a little bit of norming. We went through a couple of the reflections and one of the speeches that they're doing, and they're using Blackboard. You all are using a Microsoft form, and all the stuff that you all are scoring is in OneDrive. But I did want to kind of touch base about like some of the decisions that were made with the norming. So there were two reflections that we took a look at. They were form reflections, and this is the two that we looked at right here. So this one, question, what did the speaker do most effectively, and what should the speaker pay attention to next time? Those, of course, are the two criterion, the critical criterion and the constructive criterion under Learning Outcome 3, critically and constructively evaluate their own and others' presentations. So with this student, just so you all know, in the spirit of norming, this one was scored exceeds in both constructive and in critical. We paid particularly close attention to the word meaningful areas of improvement. So our students giving feedback about important things, and under constructive, specific examples to support their evaluation of a speech. And both Melissa and Christy thought that there was enough specifics in here for the constructive, and there was enough conversation about meaningful issues that it met the critical component. So that was this one. There's a second one that was a little bit tougher, and this was the tougher one. We had a little bit more conversation about it. So in this one, under critical, is the person that's evaluating, are they talking about meaningful things? This is where both Melissa and Christy thought that, the student maybe exceeds expectations. They're talking about important things. But in terms of constructive, the examples, like how specific they are, they thought that this one was vague. So they scored this one a 4 for critical, and so that exceeds expectations. And they gave it a 2, that's approaches expectations. It doesn't meet them for constructive. So just so you all have kind of a sense of how they went about their scoring when it was time to take a look at the reflections. We also took a look at a sample speech, or not a sample speech. They actually we scored a speech together, and we went through the rubric and kind of talked it out. And I think, if you all want to get together and do that kind of thing, happy to do that. But it seemed like there was consensus. We thought, this could have been a 3, could have been a 2, and there was a conversation about that, and with some of the criterion. And again, if y'all want to do that as the semester begins, we can do that. I did want to take a second to just kind of show you where things are if you haven't already gone through that. So I'm going to change screens and show you where you can find the materials to score. Okay, so I sent you all a link to a OneDrive folder, actually 2 OneDrive folders, one for speeches and the other for reflections. So you'll go into those folders, you'll download them, you can view them in your browser. That I think is self-explanatory. If you have trouble accessing any of that stuff, let me know. So the way that some of this went down is that folks, they just sent me a big jump drive that had one huge file for all of the speeches for a particular day. So what I did is I went in and found the link for a particular timestamp, and that's what this link is here. But you can, if you need to fast forward, it tells you what minute mark that you want to go to fast forward. So once you have the content up to, you've taken a look at the reflection, you've taken a look at a speech, it's time to go ahead and score it. And let me change screens again. I'll show you the form. So this is the Microsoft form. That it's basically just the rubric and a little bit of information so that I can get the demographic info from the students. So there should be a student name or a student ID number that's either in the file name or it's included in the link that you have. So you would enter that information in here. If you can't find it, if you just say it's this video in the folder, I can track that down and figure it out. So you'll give us some identifying information there for the student. Tell us who's scoring. Was this a speech or was it a reflection? So let's go to speech. You'll only get the rubric items that are about the speech, because there are 2 rubric items, 2 rows that are just about the reflection. So it gives you all the outcomes and all the criteria for the speech learning outcomes. And then the reflection, we have those here. These are those 2 there. So you're not going to be grading a student's reflection and then their speech necessarily. So, you'll do just the speech or the reflection scoring. So that's a quick overview of like where you find the information. I just wanted to share with you all a little bit of the conversation that we had around scoring the reflections. Those I think are going to go a little bit more quickly. The speeches, we talked a little bit about, you'll take a look at the speeches. You maybe don't have to watch the entire speech. Like if you watch in a little bit, or maybe you have to fast forward a little bit, to see what they do at the end, that's absolutely fine. Last thing I want to say is that we also talked about time frame. Christy said she was going to try and knock this out soon, so she gets it off her plate. We have until I think the end of February or something like that. I need to present to GIAC these data. I also want to share it with you all so that you know how the students did and kind of get your impressions of the data after everything's been scored. So I think end of February is probably, if we have it then, there's still plenty of time for me to kind of get that data whipped up and share it back with you all. So sorry for the rambling video, but I just wanted to kind of check in with you all and kind of touch base after a conversation I had with Melissa and Christy. Hope you all are safe, doing okay, and I'll talk to you all soon.